we're now going to talk about the small tax cuts for workers. And I'm going to go to you, Pat, because I notice you've been sitting there chomping at a bit and wanting to make a contribution here from that end.
Well,
now, the government is, look, in theory, you can see they're taking money out of the capital gains, they're taking money out of trusts, they're taking money out of this, so it's take. Give us something, buddy. Is there any good news on the front of people getting money back?
finally, we have a winner and we have a new acronym as well. So we've brought in the WATO, or Workers Australian Tax Offset. So this is basically giving some money to people that are feeling the cost of pressure of living and all those kind of things. So now it's going to be a new permanent tax offset for workers. So it's not going to be on all your income. You've got to be a worker, and it's basically $250 per financial year. So that's also coincides with obviously the marginal tax rates and the low income tax offset, LITO. So I did some quick sums. So for this financial year, effectively everyone always goes, yeah, you can earn $18,200 tax free. But when you factor in LITO, or the low income tax offset, that actually jumps up to $22,575.
Yep.
Next year, it'll be $22,866. And then when you factor in LITO, WATO, and the tax-free threshold, that's actually going to be $24,985 of tax-free monies you can get.
All right. So just to get this right, you've actually got to be working. Is that right?
To get WATO, correct?
Oh, you get WATO. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then they've also introduced instant tax write-off as well.
Yep.
So traditionally, when people are doing their tax return, if they didn't have many deductions, most people would chuck $300 in there because you wouldn't have to have receipts for the $300. So everyone would always just do $300 of laundry. Now they're bringing $1,000. So basically, you can do $1,000 without any receipts, and then still claim other deductions on top of that with receipts.
So no more shoebox. No
more shoebox. And everyone just bumps it up to $1,000 deduction, which is great. So that's going to help a lot of people, especially on that lower threshold where we just talked about LITO, WATO, now another instant $1,000 write-off straight away when they're doing their tax return.
No, awesome. Now, Pat, just to get this right in my own head here, you said $250, is that right?
Correct.
All right. Now, so the last time I looked, what's the cost of a cafe latte, mate?
Well, it depends if you want soy, caramel. It depends what you want. But you're thinking, yeah, exactly. It's not gonna increase people's lives at all.
Yeah, I didn't think so, mate. Look, and look, $250. Don't get me wrong. If you go to the supermarket, it might pay for half a trolley, perhaps, depending on your circumstances. They might pay for that. So I get it. There is some cost of living relief, but when you kind of sit it back and you go $250 spread over the course of 12 months. That isn't a coffee a week, for God's sake.
No, and especially when you've brought in these huge tax reforms, it's like you've taken a lot and dangled a little bit on the end. So, yeah.
Okay. You know how in my opening gambit there, I kind of said that, they're taking a lot and you just feel like we're being positioned for the sugar hit in 18 months' time with the election coming on. Do you reckon there's a bit of truth in that?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, well, and this is where they're saying we're focusing on the cost of living pressures, and this is one way they've sort of said they're doing it, but it's very minute.
Yeah. Look, I guess the other argument there too is we are in an inflation, problem. We've got a massive problem in that regard, and I think based on the numbers last night, they were forecasting inflation to peak at 5%. So with that being the case, to then go and throw more money into the system. Yeah. Is somewhat counterproductive because obviously the Reserve Bank is saying, well, hang on a sec, you need to do something because we can't just keep on raising interest rates.
And this doesn't come into, it's applicable 1 July 2027, so this won't flow through for a long time.
Okay. All right. So this is all kind of nice. All right. Well, look, thank you for that, man. I appreciate that, and I'm really pleased at the fact that I'm going to get a coffee a week, which is going to be proudly sponsored by the government. So thank you.